Welcome along, everyone, to my F1 2019 Let's Play of the season, I guess is we're gonna call it. So this is me doing a full F1 season of 2019 before the 2020 season comes out. And to kick things off, we're gonna head right into the action in Q3 in Australia, where it's a wet session. We made it through Q1 and Q2. Now we're on Q3. It was all just a wet session. And now we're going to start our flying lap here in Q3. And we got 3 seconds to finish the lap or for people behind us. But we get a poor entry into the first turn. Good exit coming off turn 2. Now we're going down the DRS zone into the tight turn for number 3. Into the braking zone we go. Short, and we lose the back end, and that is going to sum up our Q3 session. We tried to put in a second lap before. It didn't quite work, and so for that reason we had to we got stuck with our original time. So without further ado, let's head into the race. Now, my audio did not, or my capture card didn't clip the game recording this, or the audio and the commentary, so that's kind of unfortunate. But we're going to take you down, break down Albert Park, where we're going to do the Australian GP, and see if we can win the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship with Ferrari driving as Sebastian Vettel, and with our teammate Charles Leclerc, and we're going to try and get it done. So, without further ado, so we got 16 corners and 3 DRS zones. It's going to go 29 laps. It's a day session. It's going to go from dry to wets at the end. We don't know what we're going to expect, but it may come, it may not come. We're not sure, but we got a good position. I think we're starting 4th in this race, or 3rd. We're going to get a little look here with the overall grid here. So we take a look. Hamilton starts on pole. Verstappen starts the front row. Complete the second row will be myself, Vettel, and Alex Albon. For the third row, Bottas, Leclerc. Fourth row, Perez, Magnussen. Fifth row, Sainz, Norris. Sixth row, Hulkenberg, Grosjean. Seventh row, Ricardo, Raikkonen. Eighth row, Giovinazzi, Kvyat. Ninth row, Gasly, Stroll, and 10th is Russell and Kubica. So now without that, let's start the race. So here's our race strategy. It's going to be a one-stop today. It's calling for rain at the end of the race. We're not sure if it's going to come. But the goal is for a one-stop. So we're going to start on the super soft tires, or I should say call them the soft. They're called the softs now. We're going to transition our way over to the mediums. So we get ready for the grid to form up and get ready for the Australian GP. And here we go, the lights come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go for the Australian GP. To start off the F1 2019 season already. We're getting shafted off the start here. We're going to go around the outside of both Red Bulls, and we can't go because Verstappen forced Hamilton off the track, which caused us to lose 2 spots to our teammate and Alex Albon. Now we come down into the third turn. We're going to go late on the brakes, pass our teammate, and he's still there on our inside. Still go around the outside, and we're going to get the job done up into P4 now. And now we got to catch up to the leaders on the first lap here. Good entry through the first section, and now we're heading on to the second sector of the park, or the track, and we need to just stay calm, have a good race, not get any slip-ups or anything that will cause us to retire from the race. Now this part right here, the chicane that's coming up right now, this is the part where I had issues, and you can see me already lose the back end of the car. That's going to cause, and we make contact with our teammate there. But that's just the one section I struggled with on this track. It's just my back end of the car just got really loose, And especially if it's going to rain like this, then I don't want to see how that's going to go. So hopefully we don't have any issues with that chicane. We just got to take it nice and slow, but also keep a quick pace. So now here on the lap 2, catching up to our teammate here. We might go for the dive bomb in the third turn. I can't speak. We don't get the job quite done. And we're still holding on behind him. Still holding on. We go off the track. And now, what about turn 5? We get done there? Not quite. Now we're coming back to the second sector. Again. Waiting, trying to make a move. Nice entry in and out. Perfect, just drive the car in. Let the car take the momentum in. And now Valtteri Bottas of Mercedes is going to try and pass it around the outside. Doesn't quite go there. Backs off. We keep the position, maintain 5th place. And this is already turning out to be an eventful race already. 2 laps in. We're losing places. We're gaining places. We're getting overtaken. Maintaining in corners. And now we got to check up heading into this chicane. And so nothing quite happened there. Now we move on later into the race. Lap 3. Get a good run out of the chicane. Going up the inside of our teammate. Leaves us no room. We squeeze him outside. And now we're going to go late on the brakes into the turn and get the job done. And then we're going to get 4th place there on the 3rd lap. Now he's got to catch the Red Bulls and Lewis Hamilton. And I do not know where Hamilton went, but if I look at the map, he is long gone up the road, already at the start-finish line, and we're just coming out of the last turn. That's not good. We're going to have to catch him if we want to win this race. Now we go on to lap 5. DRS enabled. Go late on the brakes. Same turn. And we're going to squeeze Verstappen, and we're going to go around the outside of Verstappen, and we're going to get the move done. And that's 3rd place right there. 2 more spots to go now. And we still have plenty of laps to do it. Oh, that was Alex Albon, not Verstappen. I apologize. And now here we are on the last, heading on to lap 6, getting a good run down the front stretch. And we're gonna go around the outside, lay on the brakes. We get it done. He's still there, and he's gonna go around us again. And we get the DRS. Now we're gonna go around the outside into turn 3, late on the brakes. And we go down to the 1st gear so we get more traction out of the car and we get the move done. And now we are up to 2nd place in Hamilton, who currently is in 1st and holds. And now Antonio Giovinazzi is out of the race, probably with an engine failure, if I had to guess. But that's unfortunate. We lose our 1st driver of the day. Now we head on to lap 11. And we're heading in to make our one and only pit stop. Got to make sure this is perfect. Lewis Hamilton also comes in with us on the same lap. We're going to hold him up as we come into the pits here. Got to be a clean stop. And it's 2.5. There's room for improvement there. But we did hold him up so that we got some time back on him. And now he's going to take off like a rocket here. And hopefully we can too, because now we just lost a lot of time there. Simply. So now we're coming on to lap 12 now. We've made our only stop. And now our only goal is just to catch up to Hamilton. That's the only thing we can do. And nothing really happened. So we moved on to lap 17. And we're still just trying to catch this man. Because he's just... And then... Oh... The chicane gets us. We hit the barrier. I lost my shit when I lost the back end of the car, and somehow we didn't lose any front wing. And now we're on lap 21. The rain's coming down, and we've just basically at this point handed Hamilton the win, unless we can catch him on the wets, which is highly unlikely. But we got 8 laps to do it. Now we're on lap 23. DRS is disabled, so now this is the time we have to come in and put on those intermediate tires, because this is wet conditions and these dry tires are just not going to get the job done. But that crash in that chicane there really hurt us, because now we've handed Hamilton the win at this point. We can't catch him, because we're now probably, I want to say 30-40 seconds back now after that crash. So now there's 6 laps left in this race, or sorry, about 7, 8 laps. Now we're in the pits, going onto the intermediate tires here. Valtteri Bottas is coming into the pits as well, and we lost a lot of time there. We come back out 2.4. That was quicker than the one before. It was what, 2.6? Coming out of the pits now with 7 laps to go. And Verstappen has to stay out because Albon came in. And now lap 24, we get our tires up to temperature. And at this point, we're just driving the car home. And Valtteri Bottas of Mercedes is out of the race. I wonder why. Let's have a look. Now, it looks like... Is that an engine failure or is that just the tires? It looks like a mechanical issue, and I think it's an engine failure. That takes him out of the race, and that's going to hurt Mercedes in the championship standings. And the safety car has come out. Unbelievable. The safety car has come out and has saved us in this race. And now we just need to get a good run when this safety car ends. We need to build up our fuel, save our ERS, and see if we can get around them to get the win. This has come well into our hands now. We got the safety car. We caught up to Hamilton due to the safety car, and I was a little surprised that the safety car did come out because I think Bottas was in a odd place to park. So now Hamilton checks up. Almost lost my front wing there, and the safety car is going to come in. So we're going to have a little green-white checkered here with, we're going to have 2 laps to go in the race, and obviously most of the field can't catch up at this pace because otherwise the race would be over. So now we got 2 laps to try and beat Hamilton here, and we need a good run, and I don't know when he's going to go, but we're going to have to figure it out. We got our ERS up, we got our fuel up, and now we're cleared to go racing again. We got to get a good exit off the chicane. We lose the back end just a little bit, and that kills us in time. And Hamilton is just gone, and he's just taken off, and our car's just not going. But we're back to racing now. It's green flag. 2 laps to go now. Can we catch Hamilton with 2 to go? We cut the corner just to get some time back. But now we're not going to have any DRS because it's wet conditions, which sucks. So now we're coming into the 3rd turn. And I think we're getting some time back on him, but it's just not enough. And at this point, we just couldn't catch him. And I don't know what else we could have done, but we drove it well, and we maintained. We didn't get any penalties, no damage. And with that thriller of a race, P2, we'll take it. So after that, P2, we'll take the podium position. We didn't win the race. We could have won the race. We just had a bad start after that safety car, and that kind of ruined our momentum, which sucks. But we can always bounce back in the next one in Bahrain. Try to win that one. And so there's a look at the race results. I'm gonna end up showing you a little grid, so this doesn't really mean anything. Now we look at the grid here, and so this is what the standings is gonna look like. And so obviously the gold, silver, bronze is the podium positions. The green is the points for, which is the points scored. And then the blue is a non-points for, meaning the people scored from 11th to 20th. So they didn't get any points. And then black's going to represent did not finish the race. And we saw that with Giovinazzi early on in the race. And then we saw that with Valtteri Bottas. And then the black one's going to be disqualified, which I think we'll rarely see. But in case we do, that's what it's going to be. Now we move on to the Constructors' Championship. And this is what it's going to look like over here. Obviously, all 10 teams, and then the points based on that. Pretty self explanatory. This will update after every race, and I'll make sure to put it at the end of the race. And then once we get towards deciding the champion for the drivers and the constructors, we'll start to put those standings towards the front of the video to give you an idea of how important this race could be. So, overall, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It is the first one. We got 20 more. We got 20 more races of these, so stay tuned. And this was just an absolute fun race to do. It met its expectations. Safety car, we went from dry to wet conditions, and overall it was just a great race. So stay tuned for Bahrain, and I'll see you then. Take care.